Welcome to Well, That Just Happened. I'm your host, Cody Spence.
And I'm your co-host, Mark Hawk.
This is a podcast about, do you want to tell them, Mark?
Yeah, so this is a podcast that takes a look at news stories from around the world.
Some that shock us, some that have us asking what just happened, and some that we just found interesting.
So if you like the show, please subscribe and leave a review.
We're on YouTube and any other podcast platform.
And with that being said, all that's left is, let's see what's happening this season.
Alright, so what I got this week, this first story, it's kind of in honor of my wife. The reason I say that's because she's a huge fan of Harry Potter. So,
me too.
I found a story, Harry Potter's mentioned, not in your traditional way.
Oh.
Okay. So, I'll read you the headline. North Lawrendale woman claims to be Harry Potter after allegedly killing a woman in Boca Raton hit-and-run crash.
Yeah.
Okay, so, in Boca Raton, Florida, a Broward County woman is behind bars after a deadly hit-and-run crash. 23-year-old Natasha Snape was driving northbound on the 4,000. Holy crap! The 4,000th North Ocean Boulevard.
Did you notice her last name?
Snape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a professor's name.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. So essentially, what happened is the woman was. She was driving along. There was just a hit and run victim. But the part that's kind of like really sad about it, it was a 6-year-old boy.
Oh.
But the funny does come back in.
Okay.
So she hits the child, continues to go. They end up catching her because the vehicle gets destroyed. I mean, there's damage, it can't be run, so she tries to run. And she gets busted. Police said Snape exited the vehicle and while being treated by first responders began screaming and fighting with the medics, stating she was Harry Potter. Snape was arrested by the police on several charges, including vehicular manslaughter, leaving the scene crash and resulting in death. But one of the reasons why I find that article it's sad and funny. Do you think that's mental illness?
Oh, I think that's a good, just trying to think on the spot of how to get out of a bad situation, and yeah, you claim mental.
You can't yell Excelsior or what? That's not even a thing. That's Star Trek. You can't. I don't know Harry Potter stuff. You can't go Illuminata or Illuminatus or what? I don't know. I don't know Harry Potter stuff. I'm sorry.
You can't just yell out a spell.
Yeah. What was the
Deletus fetus?
Episioso, I don't know. But still, that was the part that kind of cracked it up to me was like so much stuff you can say. You could say, I'm sorry, I screwed up, I feel terrible. You don't say, I'm Harry Potter.
But the thing is, if you just say, I'm sorry, I screwed up, you're still getting vehicular manslaughter.
She's getting it either way.
But now the defense has like a mental disease or defect defense. To me, that's what I'm doing. If I fuck up and kill somebody, I'm like, yeah, this happened, or so I'm this person.
In this scenario, my head just came up with it. If I'm getting busted, and if I did this, and I want to use Harry Potter as a reference, when a cop goes, "What were you thinking?" I'm going to go 5 points to Gryffindor. I'm just saying, you got to think on the spot.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, you gotta think outside the box in that situation. Like, oh man, I'm screwed, going to prison for life. But wait a second. If I pretend to be crazy,
right?
Then I'm telling you right now, going to a mental institution is probably better than going to prison.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's where a lot of these people come up with things on the spot, I think, just to get out of those charges.
Yeah. Okay, so we did that one. So if you're going to steal a vehicle, what are some of the things like you would steal a vehicle for?
It's gotta look nice.
Okay, so like, say you're gonna steal a vehicle and there's like stuff inside of that you want. Like, what are you gonna go for? Like a TV?
Weed.
Okay. Okay.
Well, back in the day.
What about the children's stories?
What?
All right. So, suspects
No.
suspects accused of stealing children's books caught after police chase hit and run crash. For Lauderdale, Florida, again, a South Florida children's author was robbed for precious books. Her car was burglarized, and inside, I can say burglarized, but I can't say burglary.
You just said it.
I know, but that's just because I'm.
Okay, wait. Now, you said an author got robbed from her precious books. Does it mean they only put it that way because they wrote them?
Yeah, but why are you doing these condescending air quotes?
Because it's
You're doing
precious.
it half-assed, too. You're only doing one set.
Because it's precious, only because you wrote it. The next thing you're going to tell me, they're like, they stole my priceless books.
Okay, so the one thing about the article that they did put was, I don't know why it made me laugh, but they're like, but don't worry, this story has a happy ending. So Laura Dusta is a New York Times. She's a best-selling author. For children's books, she has 60 copies of her newest work. She had them in the mail, and she had copies in her car. So it was around 4 a.m. on Tuesday that she heard a noise outside and saw the SUV was speeding away. Both her windows were smashed out. So the police ended up chasing down the car, the SUV, and found him. And she said the Broward Sheriff's Office helicopter was called in for backup to find the car.
Seriously, over books?
Yeah. They blew through a red light and there was a crash. I was coming across and he smacked me, said the victim in the crash, Dwight Hogue, 17th Avenue and 87th Street here, and the guy ran the light. Apparently he was running from the cops. Two men inside the SUV bailed out of the vehicle and began running, but the police eventually took him into custody, and about that time Jessica received a call that her books had been recovered. So that's the happy ending. She got her books back. I would be more concerned personally about my vehicle.
Yeah, I'd be mad about the windows. But I guess best-selling author. Never heard of her, but whatever.
Yeah. That one just kind of... That one to me was like, alright, so if I'm going to steal a vehicle, I'm going to go for a nice vehicle, maybe something nice on the inside, but she had 60 of her books in the back, plus she had some in the mail, but she had... I'm not stealing a car with books. I'm not doing it.
I don't read, so definitely not on my list.
All right. Okay. So you ever watch the show Nip Tuck? Way back in the day.
A little bit of it.
Okay. So they were plastic surgeons. The whole show was about like debauchery, drugs, surgery, alcohol. Do you think kind of doctors perform like surgeries and stuff that way, like maybe under the influence or whatever?
Yeah. Probably a lot.
Yeah. So like, so say there's a doctor who's gonna, I don't know, drink something when they're doing a surgery. What do you think they're gonna drink?
A little bit of vodka.
Okay, so I found a story with a man accused of drinking 4 Locos while giving Botox injections without a license at a spa. Again, Florida.
Thing is, though, isn't Botox just like a shot?
He doesn't have a license, Mark.
But if it's a shot, like, come on.
It's illegal.
Oh, come on. It's a shot.
You want some half-cocked, tuned-in doctor to shove a needle in you and inject fat into your body?
Is that what Botox is?
Essentially, yeah.
I mean...
It's that stuff like
if
that
they
gets
put
shot.
it in the right spot, like, what's the matter? I'm just saying, 4 Locos, I've had it. It's not that strong. You got a couple
But
back.
while he's
good.
performing surgery, he's doing it at a spa.
That's what I'm saying. Like a resort, yeah, you gonna tip some drinks?
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm just saying, as long as they're doing it right, like I don't care if they're licensed. Maybe, I mean, as long as this stuff's legit, you know?
Alright, so essentially I don't even need to go over the article because, that pretty much covers it. It was in Jacksonville, Florida. The dude, he was given Botox injections at a spa. Doesn't have a license, and while he was doing it, he was pounding down Four Locos. Uh, Nelson Turner, he's 47, and this is back on March 12th. Undercover detectives saw him drinking alcoholic beverages at the legitimate spa on San Jose Boulevard. He now faces multiple charges, including 3 counts of possessing legend drugs and 1 count of practicing medicine without a license. But yeah, I mean that's the gist of it. He was charging $350 for service. That generally costs 3 times that much. So he's giving it at a discounted price because he's half cocked in.
Yeah, but if the stuff's legit, he's putting it in the right spot. I mean, I find it hard to believe that that's all he got was just a few $100. I mean, maybe them women was paying some more.
Okay, but another part of the article is social media is not your friend. Do not do Facebook Live when you are committing a crime. He is Facebook Live and giving Botox injections, doesn't have a license while he's drunk.
I mean, it said he was tipping some drinks. It doesn't say he was drunk.
Okay, he's having multiple different Four Locos as he's stabbing people in the face with some kind of medical injection, and he doesn't have a license, and he's posting on social media, doing it at a discounted price, and the whole time as he's doing it, he's joking around with everybody about it. Like, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, you go anywhere else, you do that, you give me $350 and give me, a bottle Four Loko, and we're good.
I mean, he probably stole the stuff then.
I would imagine he doesn't have a medical license. He had to get it somehow.
Man, black market, you can buy stuff. Alright, so this week, I got some other good stories for you.
Okay.
Alright, man arrested after fight over peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You know I got like that my food articles.
Apparently so.
Alright. An Iowa man is accused of pulling a knife on his brother during a fight over peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Whoa.
So the Des Moines Register reported that Jerome Davis was charged with assault, domestic abuse with a weapon, and taken to Polk County Jail. Authorities said the suspect was arrested Friday after the confrontation in their Des Moines home. Both men lived together and in their 50s. The suspect's brother told police he was angry because he believed his brother was eating too many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. The suspect allegedly ate 6 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
That's a lot of sandwiches.
In a short period of time. This caused the two to have a confrontation about laziness and overeating. The suspect is accused of pulling out a folding knife and held it to the face of his brother, threatening to cut him.
I don't understand the laziness comment. Like, that's the part that baffles me the most.
If you get up and make yourself 6 sandwiches, it's not being lazy.
Yeah.
Now, if I held a knife...
Unless he Scooby-Dooed it, stacked them. And
that would be awesome, dude. I kind of want to try that.
I mean, you pack it down, sure, it'll work.
Yeah. I mean, you probably get messy peanut butter.
Flat bread.
Yeah. But, yeah, okay. I mean... That's just crazy to me. Like, over peanut butter sandwiches, you're going to get that mad?
Well...
I mean, unless you ate the last of the peanut butter and that's all you
had
in the
that's
household.
Kind of what I was going to get at. Like, if it's the last, I can see being upset. But there are people that get very upset over other types of food. Like, we know of a story of an individual got very upset over tomato.
Yeah.
That's one of your favorites.
Yes, it is. So... Okay, first problem, I mean, 2 brothers living together in their 50s.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too old.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of sisters doing that, though, I guess. This is the first time I really heard of brothers.
I can understand, like, say it was, maybe a nasty divorce or something like that has happened and, one moved in just for a little bit of stability. But
I feel like you always, with brothers, have that, like, kind of sibling rivalry.
Right.
And maybe the peanut butter jelly sandwiches was the last straw. And,
that sounds very possible.
I mean,
could have just been like that that slow build, and then all of a sudden, that could have been something that guy was just, that's all he wanted all day was just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And when he goes to make one,
his brother ate the last of
Yeah.
it. Because I remember back when I was a teenager, man, my brother would get into my Swiss rolls, and I'd teach him a lesson. I ain't use a knife, but what I did was open the packages up and shove X-Lax in every single one.
Ah.
So when he got into them, yeah, he didn't go to school the next day. And then he learned, don't mess with my stuff. And,
That makes sense.
That's a better way to go about it.
Yeah. I mean, I've never...
Only thing that would have been better is if he actually went to school, but...
I don't know. I've never been that angry to where I wanted to cut somebody over it. I could see throwing the peanut butter jar at somebody.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I could even see...
And I call bullshit on that. With you not being that butthurt to pull a knife on someone. Brandon.
Oh. Okay.
That's all I gotta say on that. You could say, no, that wouldn't happen. But you two, I can see that happening.
He's pulled a knife on me, so...
I know, that's what I am saying. Like, with your guys' friendship, I could see that coming to a head, and,
It probably would be food-oriented, too.
I just think.
Yeah, but, I mean, like I said, I can see throwing the peanut butter jar. I can see even maybe throwing the peanut butter, like the bread knife, the butter knife, using... But they said he pulled a folding knife out, so I'm assuming that's a pocket knife.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
In my mind, that's like an old prison movie, just like, I'm gonna cut you.
Exactly. All right, for the next one, man accidentally texts probation officer in pot deal.
What?
Yeah. He accidentally texts his probation officer in a deal for weed.
That is awesome.
Okay. So this is in Albany, Georgia. An Albany man is going back to prison after he texted his probation officer while looking to buy marijuana. Alvin Cross Jr. pled guilty Monday to possession of cocaine and was sentenced to 1 year in prison. He was also sentenced to serve another year for violating his probation. Prosecutors said Cross probation officer received a text from Cross asking, "You have some weed?"
Hey, straight to the point, man. You gotta respect that.
So the probation officers and drug agents raided Cross's home and found a bag of cocaine. So I guess my question is, if you have a bag of cocaine, like, why do you need the weed? But
because coke's an upper, weed's a downer.
Well, and I don't know, because you said you've never really ever been really into drugs before. Like, the only time I really have ever done coke was sprinkling it on my weed, like kind of a little swirly, But
yeah, no, I don't know. But like
can you imagine that though?
When you read the coke part, like they found that coke, I'm like, that's not what he wanted. So I'm just like, what?
Well, that's what I'm saying though. He had the coke. He wanted weed. So, but how bad would that suck? Like you got out of jail. You're on probation, your probation officer is leaving you alone, and you're doing good, and next thing you know, you're like, I think I want some weed. So, and then you text your PO, and it's like, oh, shit. At that point, it's too late.
Do you think the PO kind of went along with it?
I mean, kind of like a sting operation kind of thing?
Yeah. In my mind, like, if I'm a PO and one of my dudes, or females, sends me a text asking for weed, I'm gonna be like, you gotta be shitting me. Yeah, dude, I got some. What you need? That's it. What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mess with the person, and I don't know the terminology of all this stuff, but I'll just be like, oh yeah, I got that stanky dag 9000. You want that? And just throw some bullshit.
But that's the thing to me that I'm having a problem with. I guess is I get what he did was wrong and dumb, but say you're my PO and I message you, hey, got some weed? If you don't give me weed, how am I in trouble? I may have been stupid and looking for it, but I ain't get it.
Yeah, but they found the coke though. They had that in his possession.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what he got in trouble for, not for the text.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, because I guess that led to them searching his house.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
That
I would be very upset.
That to me is also almost as dumb as like having like a dime bag in your pocket, your PO search you and you go, oh, that's not mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's clearly in your possession. You're like, oh, I don't know where that's at. And, like, the coke, say he had a roommate or somebody left it there, which you can argue that, but you texted your PO, got any weed, like, obviously you were looking to consume or provide for somebody else, which that is an illegal offense.
Very true. Very true. Okay. All right. Next story I have. Man charged after throwing semen on woman he stalked at Walmart in Delaware.
What is up with Walmart? Again, this is another trend.
I like this tagline. Clean up on aisle 5. A Delaware man arrested Tuesday after police say he followed a woman around a Walmart store and threw a handful of his own semen on her legs and buttocks.
What the fuck?
Frank Short, 22, was charged with harassment, disorderly conduct, lewdness, and offenses touching of another with saliva, urine, feces, or other bodily fluids. Police documents obtained by Smoking Gun Show. Well, that's part of bodily fluids. It didn't say he threw his feces.
You said the semen thing, and then you throw out feces, and I was just like, wait a minute.
No, that's just part of the charge.
Okay. Just want to make sure, because we took a weird turn if that happened.
Yeah. Said the incident began Tuesday afternoon when the 20-year-old female victim stopped in the Walmart store in the town of Newcastle. A woman told police she was standing in an aisle sending a text message when Short walked past her and said, "Excuse me." When he passed, the woman felt something wet on her buttocks and legs and looked down to find what she described as a glob of fluid.
So he treated it like he sneezed on her.
Kinda. Fearing for her safety, the woman contacted store security, who called 911. When police arrived, they interviewed the woman and arrested Short, who was still milling about the store. Questioned by the police, Short first stated that he had a cold and had simply sneezed into his hands, then shook his hands off. As their interview continued, however, Short changed the story, telling police he had spit into his hand and threw it at the woman while pretending to slap her ass as he thought she was hot. The police report concludes that Short threw his semen on the woman because he was sexually attracted to her. Short, who has since been booked and released on bail from Wilmington jail, also told police he was a loner and that he had gone to Walmart to kill time.
Okay, what's that matter? Okay, so he just had semen on hand?
That's kind of...
Because, like, what he's saying happened... Anybody who has dealt with semen, it takes a little while to produce. Like, there has to be some kind of an action that takes place. So...
I love how you describe that. But it's perfectly normal to do in public. As Cody has previously stated.
But what I don't get, what I don't understand is... Was he tugging in an aisle, got it on his hand, and was just like, oh, well, like, just to get rid of it? Or did he, like, intentionally and get one ready and then just blat whoever? Or is it just like, he's slow stroking over the seam, he gets a little bit extra on his hand, and then, taps off?
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm Spider-Man. I don't know. Very disturbing situation, and yeah, we'll touch more up on that later on.
Okay. Spider-Man. In our weekly wrap-up, we discuss some of our personal opinions and ideas. So let's see what we thought this week.
Okay. Alright, so starting off the wrap-up, anything else you want to talk about in any of the stories that we went through?
I do kind of want to touch base back on the semen story with Walmart. Because, again, I don't understand how this happened.
That is the part that bothered me as well, because I feel like, okay, he did it apparently because he found this lady attractive. So, and he was only at Walmart to kill time. So to me,
How did he kill time? He tugged one out.
that's what I was wondering. Okay, to me, I'm like, okay, did he see her? Like, I really like her. Go out to the car and finish himself, and then just bring it inside on his hand.
That's more disturbing.
I get it, but it's not like you could have done it in the store without. I mean, the security cameras. You think they would have saw it, noticed what was going on? I mean,
dude, it's Walmart.
I get it, but it's not like, I don't know, like if we go to our local Walmart and start tugging one out on aisle 5, it's not like we're not going to get caught.
Like, I don't imagine he had his pants down around his ankles just walking through the aisles, but if he wanted to be, if he was like following her, say, just like taking a look, he could have easily shoved his hand down his pants, just walking an aisle and, stroked it, and then got it on his hand and walked up and platted.
I mean, I guess. I'm thinking he had to go to the car, and he's like,
why the car, though? Why not the bathroom?
Or the bathroom. There you go. You could have went to the bathroom and be like, you're going to get it. He's like thinking in his mind like a kid, I'm going to get you. Like, yeah, that is a very messed up, disturbing situation that I would hope that I wouldn't see any time in the store.
I would hope not.
And then just to throw it on her butt and her leg. So, like, if she felt it hit her leg.
Oh, there was force behind it.
Well, and she obviously had to have been wearing, like, shorts or something. Because if you had pants on, I mean, unless there was a big gob, I don't think it's going to soak through your pants. Yeah, there had to have been force because she said she felt it hit her butt.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is, like, that person really whipped it.
Yeah. Like I said.
Then they're trying to play it off as a sneeze.
Yeah, how do you do that?
Well,
it's like
the only way I can see, like, I can see that is if, like, he, again, this is just the way my brain works, that he walks up and goes, bam! Oh, that's pretty cool down here on this rag right here. Oh, what happened? Yeah, like, that's the way, and then, obviously, it's gonna build, and when she confronts him about it, oh, no, I sneezed.
It's like, wham! I like you.
Talk about a messed up Valentine's Day present.
Can you imagine though if she would have been into it and that was like, how did you meet? Well, your dad threw semen in my butt. That's...
Oh, they would twist it. It wouldn't be semen. It's like, they would say, like, love nectar or something like
that.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you gotta make it politically correct or whatever.
I saw her walking across the aisle, and I just knew I had to come on her.
Oh, wow. That's pretty messed up. Alright, and back to the Harry Potter lady.
Okay.
I just feel like that is such a strange coincidence that her last name actually had to be Snape.
Do you think she was a Harry Potter fan?
I think so. And it's like, my last name is like part of that movie. And then, yeah, I mean, she killed a kid. What are you going to do? Just accept responsibility? That's not the American way. Especially not Florida.
No.
So, yeah, that's why you lie and try to get away with it.
I don't know, when it comes to the Harry Potter story, I'm just like, there's just so many different things that could have been said. Like, you could have been like, the demons are after me, they're gonna get me, or,
the supernatural approach.
Yeah, you go the supernatural approach, because that supernatural approach is more, to me, it's more deemable as, like, a psychological thing. Like, if she was saying, like, she was being chased by, like, a figment of her imagination or something, but if she just says, I'm Harry Potter, I'm just like, but Harry Potter's not evil. Like, yeah, she would be like, I'm Voldemort.
Or the kid was Voldemort.
Okay. Well, she didn't go into that detail.
I want to say more, but I'm going to leave it at that. Because I get that what if scenario, but I don't know how people would take it, so I'm just going to let that one go.
Okay. That's very mature of you.
I know. I'll tell you afterwards. I don't feel like you're ready for that yet. Maybe later on.
Season 2.
Yeah, season 2. Might get a little more open and out there.
But yeah, that's those two stories. Those two stories to me are just like the whoa icing on the cake.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a PSA from that.
Oh, definitely. Don't throw your bodily fluids at people in Walmart. I mean, I know you all go in there with them on your clothes already, but don't throw them on a stranger.
Without their consent.
I mean, I don't feel like a stranger's going to give you consent.
If you shut down the aisle, yo, I want to come on you, and she goes, okay.
I mean, that's the start of a beautiful friendship. With that being said, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye. Well, that just happened.
If you like what you heard, tune in next week to see what else we find.
Also, please leave a review, a like, and subscribe.
If there's something you think is interesting and would like us to address, then reach out to the show and let us know.
We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much anywhere you want to reach us.
And with that being said, this concludes our episode of Well, That Just Happened.